Hi, so I'm not able to be here today, but I am able to continue our notes. So we're going to continue with algebraic expressions. Yesterday we talked about the vocabulary. For instance, what an expression was, an operation, variable, coefficient, constant, like terms, and terms. Now, in your homework, one of the problem areas are with coefficients because there's some kind of weird ones in there. So I'm going to help you with those today. And I want you to go ahead and put a bullet right there and title this Weird Coefficients. Anytime that you are falling behind in this note-taking, what's nice about this is unlike me in person, you can actually pause this and stop it and catch up, and I encourage you to do that. Okay, so I want you to create a chart with term and coefficient. And the first one we're going to do is c squared. We talked about this yesterday, and I specifically used the term ghost coefficient because there's a coefficient there, you just don't see it. And in the case of a variable without a coefficient, it is understood that there is a 1 there. If you get asked, for example, up here, if you were asked for all the coefficients in this expression up here, it would be 6, 5, and 1. So this here, your coefficient is actually 1. Okay? Again, if you had just a single variable by itself like that, x, that would be considered to also have that understood ghost coefficient of 1. And so the coefficient again here is 1. And what I need you to know is that when there is a variable without a coefficient, the coefficient of 1 is understood. Okay, next, we have some weird ones in your homework. They look like this, x squared over 3. In fact, I think this is definitely coming from your homework. Now, you're going to have to just trust me on this. When you say x squared divided by 3, when you divide by a number, it's the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 3 is 1/3. So we have 1/3 times x squared. And that means that the coefficient here is 1/3. Let's do another one just so you can kind of see the pattern. How about z cubed over 5? And that would be the same as 1/5 times z cubed. So your coefficient is 1/5. Okay, so notice that the pattern here is that when you are dividing the variable by a number, you pull that number out, put a 1 over it, and it becomes, you are basically multiplying it by the reciprocal, okay? And so that those are your coefficients for those weird coefficients.